Hey everyone, this week's topic is all about America's very favorite vice, alcohol. So 85% of Americans 18 or above have either tried it or continually are using alcohol. And since it's such a well-known and well-used substance, let's get really clear on how to use it responsibly. Or some people might choose not to use it at all. But today I'm going to talk about what it is, how it affects our health, some of the lies we've been told about it, how to know how to drink responsibly, how to know if you're over drinking, how to cut back on those things, and then my guidelines for what I do myself for how to know how to limit alcohol so that I can maintain my health. All right, so let's just jump in. This is a really compelling chart that I think about all the time. This basically shows the harm scores of all the different illegal drugs out there. And then you can see at the top, we have alcohol. So more than all the legal and illegal drugs combined, more than twice as many deaths occur annually in the US because of alcohol, 88,000 deaths per year from alcohol use. And so definitely there is a problem with people using it inappropriately. And we want to make sure that if you do choose to use it, you are not causing health damage to yourself, mortality, impact to the community, impact to families, that sort of thing. So when we look at what effects alcohol has on the body, there's really very few areas of the body that aren't negatively affected by it. You have higher factors for alcohol abuse or alcohol disorders if, one, you have a family history. Children of people who have drank alcohol are 4 times more likely to drink it. 2, if you already have pre-existing psychological or physiological issues such as anxiety, depression, people who have a harder time staying happy naturally are more prone to be drawn to and to have troubles with alcohol abuse. And then third, the other factor is your society. So if you're friends with a bunch of people who don't drink alcohol, you probably won't. But if most of your friends go out every night and they're drinking alcohol, obviously your chance of using and abusing it go up way higher. So what is it? Alcohol essentially is ethanol, and ethanol is the exact same thing that you are putting into your fuel tank. So depending on the drink, a drink like beer maybe has 4%, a drink like wine maybe has 13%, and then we distill it and we flavor it in different ways so that it's more palatable so we can get it down. But alcohol is ethanol. It is technically a poison, and that's why our body reacts in such a negative way when we overconsume or consume too regularly. So when we're talking about how this affects your healthy weight management, for people who are trying to lose weight, option number 1, which I highly suggest, is just cut it out completely for this period of time. If you choose not to, or that's not an option that works for you, knowing how to drink responsibly during this period helps a lot. The lowest glycemic alcohol out there is just straight vodka. So if you do choose that you would like to have a drink once or twice a week, straight vodka really is the way to go. Try to avoid the flavored stuff. My drink of choice is just a low carb wine. So red wines are lower glycemic than white wines by far. Look for a less sweet red wine and 1 to 2 glasses a week. I've seen definitely time and time again, this doesn't interfere long-term with weight loss. It can slow results down a little bit because what happens is if your body is in a state where it's losing weight and burning up fat, when you drink alcohol, your body will pause because that alcohol energy is right there, and your body will pause and it will burn up the alcohol energy first. And so the more you drink and the more extended you drink, your body's going to spend time burning up that energy, and it's going to forget about whatever your goals are. The other issue with alcohol that I have noticed is because alcohol does deaden your taste buds temporarily, people tend to eat more than they would when they would otherwise not be drinking alcohol. Food tastes better, again, because you're deadening your taste buds and increasing dopamine. So whether it's a fine wine with a steak or whether it's a beer with some French fries, that food is going to taste a lot better. Ironically, you're actually tasting less of it. And when you stop drinking alcohol, your taste buds regenerate, and you can actually start tasting things a little bit better. But generally, when you drink a lot of alcohol, because your taste buds are more deadened, you need more sugar to get satisfaction from sweetness. And so a lot of people who are regular at drinking alcohol find that they need more sugar for those cravings to be subsided. So just something to keep an eye on when you're thinking about the limits that you want to have. Watch out for beer, watch out for the fancy cocktails, watch out for anything sweet. These are all going to have the alcohol plus the calorie punch. And so I don't recommend any of these if you're looking for healthy weight management or weight loss. Now, a lie that we've been told also about alcohols, particularly wine, is that it's actually good for your health. And they've shown that people who drink wine regularly have a higher good cholesterols, which protects your body against disease. This is because of the antioxidants in the wine. Guess what? If those people were just drinking regular grape juice at night, they would get all the benefit without the negatives of the alcohol. There are tons of sources of antioxidants. The grape juice in the wine is one of them, but there's all these other sources. And so even though it's really cool and catchy to say wine makes you healthier, it's not actually the wine, it's actually just the antioxidants in the berries. So something to think about there. A book that's really been impactful for me and a lot of the clients I work with is called This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. And she is someone who works in advertising and marketing. And she goes through a lot of these different facts that we have been, well, facts, different myths that advertising has told us about alcohol. It makes me happy. I have better sex. It de-stresses me. It gives me courage. If any of these were true, the medical profession would be prescribing alcohol much more than it does now. Your marriage and family therapist would be sending you home with a bottle of vodka to make your marriage better. I would really encourage you, if you feel like any of these messages have really been instilled in you, to take a look at that. And really, this is an amazing book. She goes through and explains how each one of these has been propagated by advertising, by media, and the opposite is usually true in this instance. Ask any man what sex is like with alcohol, and I don't think they're going to tell you it's better. So think about these and which one of these you have decided is truth or myth, and ask yourself if that's really true. Ask yourself if the opposite was true. Is there evidence for that? And my biggest test is, how do I feel the day after? Do I feel depressed? Do I regret it? Do I wish I drank less? The day after test is a really good one. When we're talking about what your healthy limits look like, it's different for men and women. Alcohol affects the different sexes differently. For women, moderate use, what the CDC says is a moderate healthy use is no more than 1 drink per day. For men, it's 2 drinks per day. Excessive use for women is 4 drinks in 2 hours or 8+ drinks per week. And for men, it's 5 drinks in 2 hours or 15 drinks per week. So just notice where your limits are with this, and know that if you're going past these, you're putting yourself at risk for alcohol disorder. Alcohol use disorder is a spectrum. And there is the end of moderate healthy use to alcohol disorder, all the way to alcohol abuse and alcoholism. If you are working with this with a doctor, they're going to ask you these different questions. And depending on how many you answer yes to, they're going to determine where you are on the severity. But in the past year, have you ended up drinking more alcohol than you intended? Have you tried to cut back on your drinking and been unable? Is it giving you troubles concentrating? Felt overwhelmed by urges to have another drink when you should be doing something else? How much time have you spent on drinking and recovering the day after? Has it led to problems with your work, your school, your relationships? Has it cut down on the time that you used to spend doing hobbies you enjoy? Do you not work out anymore because you don't have the energy? Has it caused problems with your physical health, your mental health? Has it caused weight gain? Has it caused depression? Have you noticed that you need more drinks to get the same side effects? And then this is a really important one to know if you are on the far end of the severity with this. Do you experience withdrawal symptoms when you're not drinking? Trouble sleeping, shakiness, anxiety? So this is a really good test to ask. If you find you do want to reduce your alcohol, here's some tips Harvard put together for us. Really, really good ideas on how to start being more mindful about this. First of all, get really clear on your reason for why you want to reduce drinking. For me, I wanted to reduce because I really wanted to get my exercise game going. And if I drink the night before, I can't really perform well at the gym. I don't have the energy to go. I don't have the emotional desire to go. What's your reason? Set a drinking goal. Is it a certain amount per day? Is it an amount per week? Is it during certain hours of the day? Ask for support. Who are the people around you who love you, who want you to feel better and do better? Tell those people what your goals are and ask for their support. Choose alcohol-free days. I really don't feel like there's ever a reason to drink Monday through Wednesday. So I generally that's just a clear out blackout day for me, blackout in the good way. But are there some days where you just want to have a hard line? Keeping a diary of your drinking is very helpful. Anything that's important when you start tracking really, really helps. Don't keep alcohol in your house. I keep any alcohol that I do have out in my really warm garage. If I decide I would like to have a drink, I have to plan it in advance. I have to bring it inside. I have to chill it. And it really doesn't happen that often because I don't really make plans in advance to drink all that often, honestly. So I don't drink in my house that much. Obviously, we don't ever want to drink on an empty stomach. Try to put a glass of water between every glass so you're really pacing yourself. Be aware of the people who might be pressuring you to drink when you don't want to. Maybe there are some people who you don't want to hang out with Monday through Wednesday because that's the day you don't drink. Maybe you want to hang out with them on Friday because you know that that's what they do and that's when you want to see them. But you really want to be aware of the fact that peer pressure is a thing and create healthy limits to yourself. Staying busy, guarding against temptation, and most of all, be persistent. Nothing is perfect in this life. So if you set a goal and you don't fill it, it's okay. It doesn't mean that the goal needs to go away. It just means that you've created a guidepost for yourself for where you want to move forward to, and be persistent. It's way more important to focus on your persistence over your perfection. And this is how I monitor my alcohol use. I try to keep it special. I use my special rule. This is the same rule that I use with desserts. But basically, the special rule is I ask 3 questions. And if it meets all 3, I'm probably going to do it. Sometimes even if it just meets 2 out of the 3. But anytime I'm putting something in my body that I know is technically going to make me sicker, not healthier, I want to make sure it's special. Am I with special people? I don't drink by myself. So if I'm going to be doing something like this, I want to make sure I'm with someone special. Am I with the guy sitting on the corner outside of 7-Eleven, or am I with my fiance? Am I in a special place, or is it a special occasion? So again, am I going to be drinking just like in my bedroom in the middle of the day? Or maybe it's a special occasion where my best friend got married and I'm out there in this beautiful place. Is the drink itself special? I don't drink Bud Light. I'm probably not going to have many White Claws more in my day. If I want to have a drink in my body, I want it to taste good. And sometimes I'll have a drink that I think is special and I'll start drinking it and realize it's actually pretty terrible. And I'll just make the choice to put it away. But if I'm going to be consuming this, I want it to be a special drink, something that I get really excited about that has amazing flavors that I'm really enjoying. And 100%, there have been times when I started a drink and it wasn't special and I just let it go. I poured the rest out. So apply the special test if this is helpful for you. For me, more than days and structures and times, I just ask, is it special? And when I apply these qualifications, that usually helps. So that's our recording for the day. I also would encourage you, if you want to dig deeper into this, check the link for the worksheet and you can print this out. And this will help you evaluate where you are with alcohol. If you would like to cut back, some ways that you can understand how to do that, and just help you get really clear on what a healthy relationship with alcohol looks like for you. Also, if you do know anyone who is struggling with this or trying to cut back, please put us in touch. I've definitely worked with people before and had good results with helping people have the accountability and the structure to reduce their alcohol levels to where they felt more in control and healthier. I love coaching people with this. You can find more information about my private and group coaching practices at sarahstarcoaching.com, and leave any questions or comments below. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks.